Hello, guys. This is Malate Ranch Productions here today with a piece of advice video. Yeah, I don't think we've actually really done any of these before. Well, I don't really know why that's important, but yeah, before I get on to the explanations behind the video, here is a warning, or here is a piece of advice that I think you guys should take. If you're going through some issues, or if you're going through problems, and you hear someone else say this to you, like, well, I mean, you probably know what the video's about again, but if you hear anyone try to bring up this type of stuff or say this type of phrase, do not listen to them. They are clearly not trying to help you when you're going through your problems. So just ignore what those people are saying and find ways to actually improve yourself. But anyways, now it is time to go on to the actual video. So, you may have had some situations go down with other people, and you find that very consistently and very frequently, they tend to do a lot of stuff that is very questionable and very morally objectionable. So, either you or maybe some other people are going after that person. Well, okay, I don't know if that's necessarily the best way of putting it, but let's just say this person is receiving criticism for their actions, and they're saying just stop doing this. You need to stop freaking doing this. Actually, change or something like that. And then you hear this classic phrase. Nope, yes, I've done a lot of wrong here, but nobody's perfect. That is the subject of this video. So, yeah, the phrase and the mindset of nobody's perfect. So, you've probably heard it at least once in your life, whether it be in school, online, maybe at your job, or if you even have a job, that is. Maybe you've heard it from a family member or someone you considered a friend or something. Yeah, it's used quite frequently by a lot of people when they're accused of doing something wrong. And to put it very bluntly, I think it is a really bad mindset. And I know some people aren't trying to just excuse something someone's doing, but still, it's not a good mindset. And here is the reason why this is not a good mindset. So, what this phrase usually what it's intended to do is to it's used as a method to deflect guilt, I guess you'd say, from your own problems or whoever's doing it. They usually use the term nobody's perfect to try and deflect from their own problems so they don't really have to, actually go through and change with it. Or it doesn't just have to be the person themselves saying nobody's perfect. Usually, in other circumstances, it could be other people usually trying to defend the person being accused of doing wrong. And usually they say stuff like, don't beat yourself up over this. Nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. We are all very flawed human beings, or something along those lines. And usually what some people start thinking after they hear a lot of people say this stuff to them, they probably have at some point, or maybe after hearing that, they probably start thinking, wow, you know what, this person's right. Yeah, we are all humans. We do make mistakes and we do have problems. Well, I guess it's okay to have some problems with myself, and yeah, it's okay if I just keep doing this stuff, because I mean, hey, we all have flaws. We're not perfect. When yeah, it is a really flimsy excuse to basically it's basically a flimsy excuse so that way they don't have to actually take any accountability for their actions. So, yeah, and again, I know what some people may be thinking. When you hear the phrase nobody's perfect, you think that they're proving a point by this, but they're really not. It's a really thin and a very moot point, because again, it doesn't really defend their actions in any good way, or it especially doesn't justify their actions. Because again, here, let me use this example. So let's say I walk into a middle school, and when I'm in the middle school, I have a fully loaded AR-15, either at probably in my pocket or something. So let's say I take out the AR-15, and then I just start killing everyone on sight. And then the cops get called on me, and then they just start busting through the school doors, and they're all pointing guns at me saying, "Freeze! You're arrested for murder." If I use the excuse, or if I said something like, "Yeah, I did kill these people, but nobody's perfect. We all have flaws," do you think that offense would hold up? Do you think that would just make the cops say? Do you think that would just make the police say stuff like, "Well, this person's right. Have a good day, sir"? No, I would get charged and arrested for murdering loads of people. Now, again, that is a more drastic extreme to what you could usually also consider this stuff, but again, it's much easier to just label this. It's much easier to say, yes, I did some wrong here, but nobody's perfect, as opposed to saying, I am very sorry for this, and I take 100% accountability for what I've done here, and I will do my best to stop doing this stuff. Yes, that's all really. That's all this phrase really does. It just excuses someone's actions so they don't have to change. Instead of progressing and developing as people just use this so they don't have to through go through trying to change themselves and maturing. Okay, I know this video has gone on for a decent amount of time and I've been kind of rambling a little bit, but again, just don't listen to the nobody's perfect mindset. And if you're asking what made me want to do this video, actually, okay, I know this is kind of left field in a way, but it was scrolling through the comments on Bob the Seether fan's most recent video. Well, maybe it wasn't his most recent, I'm not 100% sure, but he made that apology video, which I'm sure you guys probably saw of and do know about. Well, he never actually used this excuse before. Like, I've never heard him say something like, "Oh, I may have done some wrong here, but nobody's perfect." It was actually the comments that were mostly saying that. Like, there were loads of people who watched the video and they were like, "Hey, don't beat yourself up over this, man. We all make mistakes. We are human. Nobody's perfect." And again, what it felt like a lot of people in the comments were trying to do were trying to deflect the guilt that Bob had for these actions and try to more so trying to give him a reason. Okay, I'm kind of stuttering, but the way that I personally describe it, it feels like toxic positivity in a way, because they're basically saying, "Hey, stop thinking about all these troubling things, man. Come on, you're not that bad. You're fine. The stuff that you did, it's fine. It just don't pay any mind to it, because." Again, that I feel like that's what a lot of Bob's fan base tries to do. Like, let's say there are other instances, or let's say there is another situation where Bob's been accused of doing some bad stuff. More times than not, a lot of people will just try to deflect any guilt for his actions, and try to convince him that he's not really in the wrong here, and that he's just made a few mistakes. Which I do thank Bob for actually not giving in to these people, because throughout this video and after the video was made, he's been trying 100% to change himself and to stop doing the things that made me and some other people lose respect for him. So, again, Bob, if you are watching this video, good job for not caving into this mindset. And again, I think everybody should take this advice. Just, if you're using the term "nobody's perfect," just stop. We all know you're full of shit. And just take accountability. It's really not that hard to do so. And if you hear other people say this to you, just, again, I don't know if I should say don't take it seriously, but just tell those people to stop trying to defend your actions, because they're very clearly in the wrong, and they should try to change themselves for the better, not just stay in that bad state. But anyways, I think this video's gone on long enough, and I think I've said everything I wanted to, so yeah, see you guys later.